Welcome to Single Tree Nation. I'm your man, Charlie Eblen, the host and owner of Single Tree Woodfire Barbecue. We are here to build community through undeniable hospitality, storytelling, and the perfect plate of barbecue. Welcome back to Single Tree Nation, guys. I'm your man, Charlie Eblen, and as always, our illustrious co-host, Mr. Derry Wells, has joined us today.
What is up, everybody?
And
have you ever taken note of how many episodes, due to whatever it is we're talking about pre-show, that we start out laughing? Like, it's really...
I think it's 99%.
It's got to be close. It's real close.
It's 85 plus for
so
sure.
I would give it 100% on it when it shows it's just me and you.
The problem with pre-show recording is a lot of it isn't suited for air.
Oh, man.
And I'd like to take this time and thank our sponsors.
That's hilarious. Yeah, it's tough because there's stories that you want to share and there's whatnot and there's this and that, but you can't always throw somebody under the bus. Or we do respect certain members or levels of the family.
I think we're on, what show is this? 81, 2? Somewhere in that neighborhood?
I thought it was 78 or 79.
I think 77 was a while ago.
Yeah, I think we passed. I think we passed.
Shoot.
80. But I think out of all of those
for 79.
Out of all of those episodes,
that's my high school football number. That's the only reason I like
Nice. Let's go.
And here's what stinks. I'm middle aged, squarely right in middle age right now.
yeah.
I still associate that number with so many things. Computer passwords,
Oh, for sure.
bank, like it just, like somebody's come up with a number, 79. Like that's like, oh, dang.
Pick a number, 1 to 100.
100%. And I was like, I had no idea that silly number was going to stick with me.
We all have that number.
I understand.
Trey, what's yours?
11.
See?
What's yours?
69.
Nice. Everybody.
Somebody out there's like, yeah, my guy. Yeah,
It really is.
way to go.
Now, you want to know the funny story about it?
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty recent story, and it's not bad. All right? It is a PG story.
All right, that's fair.
I'm ready.
So, I sponsor my son's baseball team, his travel baseball team.
Sure.
Anyway, long story short, we're getting uniforms made. First time we get uniforms made, and the head coach calls me. He says, "Hey, I'm getting these uniforms put together, and I never asked you. Do you just want your last name on there?" And I said, "No, I don't want my last name." He said, "Well, what do you want?" I said, "I want it to say hoe cakes."
That is not what I saw this turning into.
Oh, the story gets better. So he said, you want
Did
to
he
say,
ask for clarification?
he did. He said, you wanted to say what? I said, hoe cakes. He said,
hang on. For the audience that doesn't know, that is a cornbread pancake.
yeah, it's a griddled piece of cornbread.
Right, yeah. Right. So just
Oh, that's great.
For anybody who don't know what a hoe cake is, look it up. It was
Oh,
George
my
Washington's
word.
favorite food. Don't believe me? Fact check me. Look it up.
I had no idea.
It's the truth.
That was what you were going to go with on this jersey.
All right, so hoe cakes, last name. And he goes, oh, and what number do you want?
Can't.
And I said, 69, right?
It's my favorite golf score.
And he said,
Yeah, it is, yeah.
yeah. He said, really? You want your jersey to say hoe cakes 69.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
That is hilarious.
I said, well, hell yeah. Now here comes the funny part.
Oh man.
Oh boy, we're not there yet.
So we ordered the jerseys. A few weeks go by. Jerseys come in. Coach's wife is excited about the jerseys coming in.
Oh, please, like.
So she opens up the box.
First one.
And
Okay, it's first time.
She's sorting out the jerseys.
Oh man.
Hoe Cake 69 comes across the plate.
Which one of these boys?
She says, who in the bleep is Hoe Cakes? And why do they have a jersey? He about got in trouble for my jersey.
Babe, it's the team sponsor. We had to roll with it. It was what he requested.
He paid for it.
His name was on the check. I didn't have his voice.
That's what she said pretty much.
Is there an apostrophe in hoe cakes anywhere?
Oh, heck no.
Okay.
No.
Like in my mind.
It doesn't own it. Nobody owns them, I don't think. You're a teacher.
Man,
I should trademark it.
No, I saw somebody the other day went on a full rant because somebody mentioned that Kroger's had done something, but the way it got typed was Kroger apostrophe S. And this was mid-rant in the text thread that I was a part of. And I was like, this is going to get great. And all this person could say was, I can't believe that they put an apostrophe S on Kroger's. Kroger's don't possess S.
What?
Was so upset. Kroger's isn't possessive this, that, whatever. And I was like, first of all, let's step back. It's Kroger. Like, I'm trying to like correct everybody. That was the wrong time. They were like, all the arrows came at me then. Don't interrupt. I was like, sorry guys.
Oh, you're in trouble for that.
Jeez, that's
What I'm hoping is that I can get that as a custom license plate.
I bet that won't pass the muster.
It'd have to say Hoe Cake.
There's going to be a Karen up there somewhere at the DMV license plate office.
Let's talk about the DMV.
Don't
talk about the DMV.
Oh,
no.
do you?
Oh no.
Do you? Like that's
So have you gotten your real ID?
man. I did that just on a whim. Year and a half ago.
Look at you.
Similar time frame.
It literally was because I had to be there anyway, and I was going in, and I just happened to pull up the state website and was like, oh, if I take 2 more documents with me, I can get the real ID. I didn't get it to, hey, I need to travel, or hey, I need to have it, or I was just like, I'm going to be there. 2 more documents. What is that? So that was literally how it came about. I don't know any of the argument going on right now. I don't know any of the frustration. I know everybody's pissed. Like that's what seems to be pissed.
So let me tell you a story.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh boy.
So one of my guys comes in. I'm at the restaurant on Monday. He comes in. He's like, I figure I'll waste some time. I went and got my number at the DMV. And it's going to be a couple hours. So I figure I'd come up and see what she's doing. And we chatted back and forth for a minute. And I said, aren't you worried they're going to call your number and you're not there?
I could never.
And
I would absolutely be concerned the whole time that my number got called. I got skipped.
He said, wait till you go and you see inside that place. And I went, what do you mean?
But different lanes
Hang
called
on.
different.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Which one do you go to?
The new one over by Blackman?
I think on Blaze. I think the one that
I've had smooth sailing in there.
So
I have loved it.
yes,
That's
It has
so
been-
they
I don't want
have-
to jinx it, and don't.
I got a beautiful story to tell
All
about
right.
it.
All
It's
right,
amazing.
Let's go.
I went this morning.
To get your real ID?
Yeah.
Okay.
In and
Easy
out.
peasy.
I was about to say.
Okay. Now, the only part that sucked was I looked on the website what time they open. 8 a.m. Great. They don't actually open until 8:30. That's what the door said.
But that makes you first in line. Or first or
Closer.
ish.
Yeah.
First ish.
So my wonderful wife goes past that every day at about 7:15. So on Monday, she went past it at about 7:15.
Hey, Baber's already lying.
And she took a picture and sent it to me. And that line was damn near wrapped around the building.
Oh, my
Before they
goodness.
open?
Not even before an hour and
this is
15 minutes before they open.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So
I'm jinxing it.
I'm like, oh my goodness, man. What's going on? So I get up.
The real ID is the one with the gold star, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, I feel
So
cool.
I get up.
I got worried.
Back
Now I'm like,
security.
do I really? Yeah,
Do I really have them? So I get up early. Not early. I get up this morning and I get my stuff done. And I'm sitting on the couch. And I'm like, well, I'm going to head on over there. And it's 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
Now I live 3 minutes from it.
Right.
5 minutes from it, maybe. And
Not
I pulled
exactly a
in.
commute.
I pulled in just before 6:50. It was like 6:40 something when I pulled in the parking lot. And I was shocked. There was only 2 cars in the parking lot. And I was like,
Oh, they're 2 hours early. There better only be 2 cars in the parking lot.
so I pull around, get up to the closer to the front door, and there's more than 2 cars. But I am number 7 in line.
That's a good feeling.
Okay. Now I'm thinking I was running late. I was planning on being there at 6:15, 6:30, sit in the truck until people started showing up, hop out of the truck, run up to
No.
the front door, get first in line, be good, get in and out. Cool. Worst part, I got to sit there for an hour before they open. I look at the door. They don't open until 8:30. I'm damn near going to have to stand here for 2 hours. And it's raining. Wind's blowing.
So
It's going to suck.
me and my daughter went there back in February, Marches. I think it was February. To get her, she had taken the permit test online, but now she needs to get the actual permit, right? We did what y'all did. Get there early. Mm-hmm. We get there early. I pull her little ticket, sign in, whatever thing we do, because you do everything through the QR code now, you know, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I get there, and for the permit holders or seekers, we're like the third one. I was like, this is going to be gorgeous. Mm-hmm. We are third or fourth. 15, 20 minutes tops. I was like, this is how it's supposed to be done. Like, I'm stoked, right? And we get up there. The lady goes, all right, well, we got to confirm that you can pass the eye test. I was like, go ahead, hop up here, honey. So she starts stuttering or hesitating. I said, what's she doing? Like, and the lady's like, go ahead and read that row. And she's like, EGC, what? And I'm like, she can't see. Like, that's my first, I don't say this out loud. The lady behind the desk, has anybody ever recommended her for glasses? Oh my gosh. So we're going to be first has now gone away. She's going to have glasses. We go to one of those walk-in spots because I called our normal optometrist and they're like, we're out like 3 weeks. I'm like, that's not going to work. We're trying to get a permit today. We go to one of the walk-in spots. They're like, we could see her. I set the appointment on my phone driving. Like, this is going to work. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
we got this. It's
We're
going
gonna
to be
make this
fine.
happen,
Right,
yeah.
we're going to make this happen. We are back at the DMV by 11:30. At 3:45, we walked up to the counter.
Oh my gosh.
And I did not have the words. All I knew was the guy who was getting his CDL that I was sitting next to had been there since 9:45. And I was like, I'm so thankful that I'm not still sitting here. And he was beginning to get worried, would they even get me in? And I don't know how they work their category because different lines do different whatevers. So I'm thankful for that. How many kids are getting their permit today? Apparently all of them were. And we just happened to look out to be first earlier. But I'm going to give a big shout out because they did not stop moving the whole time. And
man.
they
It's
started
incredible.
bantering the people working behind the counter started bantering with us out in the crowd, like just kind of keeping it light. And I was like, this is almost refreshing. You know how it gets tense in there?
Oh, yeah.
You can't talk, look around, like, ooh, like, you know, that kind of thing.
It was this morning. I was laughing.
It was great.
I was having
They're
a good
going
time.
back and forth with everybody. And this one guy goes, yeah, folks, like we know it takes a little longer, especially once we hit the 12 to 2 o'clock frame, because we actually take our lunch breaks. And like 3 or 4 people like, not a problem. He's like, no, there's usually somebody that has a problem with that. And I was like, you're not serious. 100%. They, on a fairly regular basis, get blasted by some member of the public who's waited more than they wanted to because they took their lunch break. And I thought, put yourself in that position.
Yeah,
you would absolutely take your lunch break. Like, if you're rude enough to complain about somebody taking your lunch break, I know you take your lunch break.
100%.
Like, you're that person, right? Like, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Your lunch break's extended every day, guarantee it. And,
So
but they're real nice folks, and I've loved it up there. That's the only time I've had a flub. Every other time it's been what you said. I'm in, I'm out. Like,
look,
it's,
I had a blast this morning.
Yeah.
I was there for 12 minutes after they opened. I mean, it was
done.
yeah. I put it to you this way: I walked in the place at 8:30, and I was back in my house at 8:47.
Your seat didn't even get warm when you sat in it.
Heck no.
I also love that they have the motor vehicle department right next to it.
Yes.
That is like finally somebody did just like this much thinking, and I'm like, good job, y'all.
Yes,
Like,
this much.
Good job.
Yeah, you're right about that. A half an inch. Yeah.
I couldn't tell you the last time I went to the one here in Murfreesboro.
I won't ever go to
Talking
it
about the license place.
Oh, license plate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because every time I've needed, I've now got I'm on my third driver.
My wife goes to the one downtown because she can just go through the drive-through.
Wait, you're talking about DMV?
no,
I'm talking about the driver's license testing place.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking about the
yeah.
Department of Motor Vehicles.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm
that
fine-
place is pretty solid.
They're pretty solid. They've gotten better also.
Have it.
But I'm telling you, if you have to get your license, now that we've got the one out there by Blackman, it's great.
Yeah.
Before that, though,
Dude, that one.
I drove to Lebanon all the time.
Yeah, I went to Shelby.
I have in and out. I'm talking about no, and that's what a lot of people don't know. It's a statewide office. So I happened to be one time I was out for a funeral, and I needed to renew my license. I was already in Coffee County that day, and we got there for the funeral service, whatever, blah blah blah. It gets done. I was like, DMV or the driver's license place is right down the street. I go to the Coffee County one, and she took care of everything for me. And because it's a statewide office, you don't have to go in your county. Boy, travel to somewhere not Murfreesboro. Just Murfreesboro's too big now. Just for that stuff.
Look, I'm going to tell you.
And not Williamson. Either.
So
Do not go to Davidson Williamson. Heck no.
you mentioned the QR code thing.
Yeah.
So you go in there, you click on that QR code, and then it starts sending you text, right?
Right.
So the lady working the door, telling everybody what to do. I don't know what her name is. God bless her. She was amazing.
Was it an African American lady, short in stature, with lots of
Yes.
personality?
who you're talking about too.
She was awesome.
I know she is.
She's
awesome.
absolutely awesome.
She needs a
Yes.
5-star review.
She may be my favorite person in the whole daggone complex.
Ever.
like that.
Like, she was, look, she came out with you are going to receive a text, and it says, text back, I am here. For those of you who don't understand, that is 1, 2, 3 words. I am here. If you don't text back, I am here, and you text me, I'm here, you sure gonna be here with me all day until we all go home.
Dude, that's amazing.
Bro,
She's
I
awesome.
fell out in my chair.
And they are not okay if you were too early. They are not okay if you stand to wait. You must sit
No,
down.
you have to sit down.
or go back to your car.
Oh, yeah.
And there's always about 5 or 6 that they trickle in and kind of stand around the wall. Nope, and I was like, get them, girl. Like, at this point, I'm cheering her on, right? Like, go get them. Like,
Yeah.
you put them on the clock. Yeah, how long they been over there? Like, she needs to go get them. It's a great. I've loved that new spot.
Spectacular.
The Bar Smith building, I think is what it's called, and it is absolutely phenomenal.
Absolutely spectacular.
So
I'm the first people to go up. There's 5 people being taken care of, and they get their stuff. The lady that was standing in line with me, she's not an old lady, but she's older than I am. She's probably in her 60s, and we're getting ready to walk in.
Hey, that was a clarification for him. Did you catch that, Trent?
Yeah, I did.
She's not an old lady, but she's older than me. So that means I'm not old either if she's not old. But
Yeah, you like how I worded that, didn't you? Yeah, you see what I did? Yeah, I got a birthday in a couple weeks. I'm trying to word that out. So I told her before we walk in, I said, look, I'm planning on being here until noon. Because if I'm one of the first people in here and I can get out before noon, I'm happy. And she goes, oh, I can't be here until noon. Freaked her out. She was like, there's no way I can be here until noon. Like, we have to leave. They were going out of town today.
She had somewhere to be.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So we're sitting there, and she's comparing the text that I get to what she gets. We're going back and forth. And she's like, well, your number says this, and my number says this. I shouldn't be before you. You came in before I did, so you're going to have to go before me. And I said, ma'am, I said, if you go one person before me, it'll be all right.
I'm just fine, right?
Yeah. So she gets called up. I get called up 2 or 3 minutes later. I still left before she did.
Of course.
But I walk up, and as I'm walking up, this, I don't even know what nationality he would be. Probably Indian, maybe.
He spoke a different language
Yes.
with a thick accent.
Yes.
Yes, there you go.
But he swore that his number was called. So I'm walking up. I get to the counter and she goes, sorry, sir. Hold on one second. Sir?
They don't take no crap up there.
Sit down.
Absolutely do not.
I was like, oh, okay. So we handled that situation. I slide on over to my little spot, and I said, "How are you today?" And she goes, "I'm good. I'm leaving early."
Apparently, everybody's getting out
Good
of
for
there early.
you. Good for you.
I love it.
But yeah, I mean, everybody's all complaining and talking about the ID process. You just got to.
So, what was the big
Do the
deal
right
behind that? Do you know, Trent? Do you know?
So I will tell you this: so at 8:30, there was over 100 people in line. I mean, it literally, by the time they opened at 8:30, it was from the front door wrapped all the way around the building. And you have to have the real ID to travel.
Oh, okay.
So you can't get on an airplane without the real ID.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't need it anyway. Okay.
So, but, and if you are, if you don't have all your documents, you just
it's a strict process.
Then you just waste time.
Right.
So I mean, it's
Quick shout out. Everything is listed step by step on the state website.
Oh yeah.
I won't give the government many props, but I will say whoever did that part of the website, they did a great job.
Look, I went last
Every
night.
document you need is listed right there.
I went last night, looked at everything I needed, put all of those in a folder this morning or last night. Got up this morning, grabbed them, went. If they would have been open and I could have seen somebody, it literally would have been a 5-minute process.
Right.
I mean, it was,
I walk in my manila folder like I'm looking official. And then I feel bad for the people that are fumbling through pocketbooks, and I've got it all crumpled up. It's in my pocket. And come on.
The only thing I didn't know was I didn't know until this week, a couple of days ago, that they mailed you the ID.
Yeah.
I thought I got it there.
No.
So I didn't find that out until yesterday.
Did you get
the
a
day
paper
before.
copy?
I got a paper copy.
Yeah, but they'll give you the real thing.
Right. But you got to have the real thing to get on a plane. You can't use a paper copy.
Right.
Then I also didn't know that it can take up to 20 business days to get your ID.
It's usually pretty fast. I'm trying to think the last time I did it when my
One
daughters
of my guests came in yesterday, and I was talking to him about it. And he was like, "I got mine in like a week and a half, 2 weeks."
I was thinking my daughters. I thought it was like 10 days.
So like I I'm good about it, but I'm going out of town.
Yeah, I'm gonna want to fly.
Well, I'm going out of town June 1st.
Yeah, right.
I need that ID.
Right. Yeah. No,
So-
you'll be fine. You're absolutely fine.
Stay tuned. We'll let you know whether or not that actually happens, or if I'm driving to Boston.
Oh, damn.
We'll see what happens. But hopefully I don't have to make that trek because that's a ride. Yeah, it's a good one. So
We need to take a break.
Yeah, we probably should take a quick break for our sponsors. Now that you, thanks for Ryan.
What a
reminding me.
segue there. Like
Yeah.
that.
Well, you said that, and I looked at the time, the clock, and I was like, "Ooh, yeah, let's take a quick break."
Let's do it.
All right, welcome back, guys. I'm your man, Charlie. As always, we have our illustrious co-host, Mr. Derry Wells. We had to take a quick break from our wonderful sponsors, but
I just real quick. I know you won't toot your horn. I'm going to toot your horn. No, I'm not. But I've never.
damn, man, I felt like I got hit in the stomach and slapped at the same time.
I'm going
right
to
there.
give you a shout out. Holy crap. It is hot in here. Woo. Anyway.
I'll leave.
Last week, got to celebrate your 4 years in business.
4 years. Can you believe that?
That's awesome.
4 years.
I'm going to tell you the most exciting part for that, for me personally.
I can go to preschool now.
Yeah, right.
Learn
Exactly.
some etiquette.
When I went through all my business courses when I was in college, everybody's like, if you make it 5 years, you make it. 5 years, 5 years. Small business, 5 years, 5 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
And like you're right on that cusp. And I know the restaurant business is a lot different than your typical small business, but it's a big deal. And good for you, man. But I have to tell everyone, the entire Southeast needs to understand that smoked deviled egg with the pork belly on it,
Yeah,
I would fight someone over the last bite for that.
that's pretty tasty.
And I'm glad it wasn't my brother that I had to fight. He's in town. That, the weekend we got to come up there.
Yeah.
And that was just a fluke deal as well. And he did. He's back in North Carolina. He's like, hey, we gonna go single tree when I'm in town? Yes, we are. We sure are. So I told him kind of, Friday night was gonna be the celebration.
Makes
Like,
me
we're gonna
happy.
do that thing, right? And you suggested the eggs. And I kind of like just side eye with him real quick, and he was like, yeah, or I was, yeah, whoever one of us, yeah. I enjoy a deviled egg. Like it's one of it's a great appetizer. Grew up with them. Mom makes the best one. Blah blah blah. Whatever.
Oh yeah.
I am telling anyone who likes anything in that realm that I will talk about it for days. Your presentation was perfect. The pork belly on there was just the right amount of texture to the egg, but I'm telling you, the fact that you smoked that egg, it was so subtle, it does not overwhelm you. The pickled onion, and it was absolute perfection. I'm telling you,
pretty tasty,
dude. Gosh, that was the best bite of food I've had in an extremely long time.
Wow. And just to throw people under the bus, Trent didn't come and try it. So.
Man, I didn't. I love you, man. I sent you a text.
You did. But I got to take one jab.
I was done, man. I got out of
you
here
missed out then.
I got out of here like 5:30, and it was raining. And I was tired.
between those eggs and the hog we did, whoo, buddy.
I was kicking myself, man.
I'm telling you,
congratulations.
Those eggs were really good.
I told you congrats, and I'm
I
appreciate it.
People are weird about when people say you're proud of them, but I'm proud of them.
I appreciate that very much.
It's
I think it's unique though, because we get to see kind of what you've done in the background.
Yeah, man, like,
And
you bust your ass.
Yeah, we've heard the gripes. When the XYZ hadn't quite been right. We've been present for a couple of the phone calls.
Is that weekly?
No, I was trying. No, all right. Look,
It's more like bi-weekly.
A
but
soda service machine tubing only goes down so often. All right, and so it's fine. It's fine.
Everything's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, everything's okay. Everything's okay.
Oh man!
But huge congrats to
soda
you
machine.
as
Big
the
congrats,
individual.
bro.
Thanks, man.
But seriously, folks, if you get a chance, if you're within a 3 mile, 5 mile, 10 mile radius of Single Tree Barbecue in Murfreesboro, if you're coming down 24, jump off and maybe call ahead just to make sure it's not an everyday item. But if they've got those deviled eggs,
Look, we are. I can't take all the credit by any means. I do a lot of work now. More so, I'm doing more behind the scenes work. I got some really, really talented people that work for me.
Yeah.
I can't even say work for me because I really work for them.
Yeah.
Trying to do different things to help. I tell my team all the time, my job is to make them money.
Right.
Right. Their job is to make our guests happy. That's
right.
That's what it is. And
damn, that's good.
I got one individual who came in, wanted to learn, and he has done a phenomenal job with that.
Right.
He's a stubborn old bastard, but it's just the truth.
That is what it is.
He said
you got to call like see him.
Yeah, he says the same thing about me, so it's quite all right.
All right. Well, I've heard your banter with Steve and yourself now, so I understand the lingo once you're inside the room.
Scott does an exceptional job for us. He's really learning. He knows how to cook.
Right.
He's learning barbecue.
Right.
And he's getting pretty darn good at that.
Right.
His ribs are just as good as any rib that I would ever cook.
Right.
I'd put his ribs up against mine any day.
That's awesome.
Probably half the time they're going to be better.
Right.
Don't tell him I said that. But he has a different palate than mine. I wouldn't say it's
don't we all?
More refined or any better. It's just different. So when we think about different foods, we come up with things that are just kind of off the wall, right? Because he doesn't want to do anything that I'm not okay with, and I don't want to do anything that don't taste good.
Right. Well,
so it's pretty cool. That was the eggs were actually a collaboration between me and him both.
Well, y'all nailed it. Absolutely nailed it.
And so he did a really good job.
That porch burger.
It's off the chain.
Oh man, that's one of the best burgers / barbecue sandwich, whatever you call it, that I've had in a long time. That thing, like, can it read? You know how when you see a menu and you read the description and you expect it to taste a certain way or feel a certain way? Mm-hmm. The porch burger nailed it. Yeah. And that's why I think from Cletus Burger, when I was reading his menu that day, I know what that burger should be like, and I can't wait to get up there and try it. I don't ever go to Nashville, like literally twice a year. That may be it. But when I do, I will swing by there.
Shout out to Shane. He just opened his second location.
He did, and
and Jambox.
Well done for him.
Yeah.
But that porch burger on your menu, geez Louise, sir. I mean, I was literally. I've had some of your stuff. Everybody always asks what would I get. I get the wings. I love your wings are perfection. Wings. Love the wings. But
tastes like chicken.
Now that I've had that porch burger, I'll have a second opinion now, and like it's good.
Pretty good.
Speaking of second opinions, macro beans. You have a macro beans today? I've got a great macro beans today. My macro beans answer has always been mac. Always.
Dude, your mac and cheese is so good.
Have you had his beans?
Yes.
Oh my word!
I changed his mind with the beans.
I cannot hardcore definitively say mac and cheese anymore.
So I have decided as well, because look, they're both my recipes. So obviously I'm partial, but
sure. But what I'm telling you is this: I have always, it's hard to mess up mac and cheese. So you go for the mac and cheese. It should be hard to mess up mac and cheese. So you go for the mac and cheese. I've had plenty of plates of bad beans. Like you're just like, it's not quite this, not quite that. It's plain is usually what it is. Mm-hmm. Yours had depth. Yours had all the flavor. And when I got that first big piece of brisket there, I was like, oh my word. Like this is exactly what I needed to be. And why
I do what I do?
For this reaction.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it
makes me so happy.
Legitimately, your backyard local barbecue joint now, not your chains. I will always either commit to getting both, or at least a side of each, or something like before I make the commitment now, because you changed me on that.
For me, it's about what I'm getting as an entree. It's not about.
It will have to be that now. It will absolutely have to be that for me.
It's not necessarily about mac or beans. It really depends on what I'm getting as an entree.
Okay. Well, that's going to have to be my answer from now on then too.
Because if I'm getting a protein that's lighter, like chicken and turkey,
Yeah.
even sausage,
Right.
because you can get sausage that's not quite real dense.
Right.
Then I like having the mac and cheese because it kind of counteracts
Sure.
the two, right?
Sure.
So the whole meal isn't real heavy.
Right.
But if you're getting a small sampler that's got brisket and pork and sausage on it, and then you want to get beans and mac
Right.
and coleslaw, boy,
That's a full plate.
that's
That's a real full plate.
I call that when you get up from the table, you're gonna feel thick. And if you don't know how I spell that, that's THUCC.
When you do when you do that old dad grunt when you push away from the table.
Oh yeah.
Well, easy, Dad. Like that's
I'm like, ooh, man,
that's hilarious.
There's a demon gonna come out of you.
I absolutely. I don't know how to recommend to people more often, and I obviously have enjoyed
I appreciate
my
you
plates
much.
of food over the years, but that has you're on to something, man, and I 100% believe that what you do to serve your customers and the hospitality that you hope to offer and that you work towards both of those has been a large part of that success, and it will be, but it just you kill it, man. You're absolutely
thanks.
from a flavor only standpoint, you're killing it. So
I appreciate
there
it.
you go.
Hey, can I give my flowers real quick?
I get flowers from you too.
Of course.
Or are you
man.
giving Derek? Give
That's
Derek
a much
some
better
flowers.
way to say than what I said.
All right, so I'm a hot barbecue connoisseur. Like that's what I get pretty much on any wing flavor, and
Yep.
if I can get a mixture of hot and a mixture of barbecue sauce, like that's my go-to. Like I make it at home all the time. This is a little embarrassing, but if we got some barbecue sauce, Texas Pete, and ketchup, like I stir them up, go-to. But your hot barbecue sauce is goaty. Like it's all time
Well, I feel
top
special.
3
Thank
ever. And yeah, I always like
I like it.
I'm like, if it's buffalo, and it's always buffalo barbecue, like those are my 2 sauces pretty much.
Now I'm
Anyway,
gonna blow your mind with something real quick.
your hot barbecue's
Take
unbelievable.
Take half hot barbecue and half white sauce.
Oh, don't do that to me. Yes. Talk dirty.
Mix the two together.
Talk dirty to me. Yes, sir. You're
mix-
absolutely right.
You mix them two together.
You dip the hot barbecue in the white sauce, it's game over. Yeah.
It's a total game changer if
It's
you
so
if you
good.
pre-mix them
Oh, snap.
50-50
Yeah.
and then toss your wings in that.
Oh, man. Do you do that?
Do y'all have a white sauce?
Yes.
Daddy does it all.
Okay.
Daddy does it all. This is getting weird. Okay.
Getting weird. It's been weird. What are you talking about?
You ain't seen that Mark Wahlberg movie? I'm Mel Gibson.
Daddy's home too?
Yeah.
Hang on. Hang on. Do you don't offer that, do you?
Look, man, I'm like Burger King. It's your way right away.
Okay.
We'll do whatever you want.
So you will do the wings with a half and half hot barbecue and white sauce.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Now
need that.
I'll give you
I
another.
need- I
I'll
need
give you
that in my
another one.
life today.
This one will make you slap your grandma.
Okay.
Okay.
That already does, but
Well,
God bless the
you
dead.
take the wings, instead of frying them, we fry them for just a little bit, and then we toss them in white sauce,
Yes.
and then we throw them on the grill.
Oh.
And then when they come off the grill, you take some limes and you squeeze it,
Stop it.
give it a little pop of freshness.
Stop it.
I am sitting here
Yeah,
realizing
buddy. I need
just how
that.
basic I've been in a lot of my life. And you're talking to a man that used to when I
Oh
spent
my gosh.
I spent way too much time at Toots when I was younger, and I would mix their ranch and ketchup because their ranch with ketchup has a great, and that's what I'm picturing with this. I know the flavors aren't gonna be the same,
Yeah.
but that's in my palate realm. I cannot wait to do what you just said.
I need that.
Yeah.
Charlie,
That-
I'll be there tomorrow, man.
All right, I got one
Word.
more for you.
Oh God, you'll give away all your hints.
Oh, man. Look, you want to do what I do. Come on.
You can't do it like me.
Look, I ain't done it for 4 years without crying. Okay, I guarantee you, I might cry later.
Treat it like a motorcycle, just like that.
Woo! Yeah. Just don't spit on it no more.
I was trying to be subtle. Trying to be subtle.
He took
That's what I
it.
was.
He took the Haktua hat away. I don't,
It's been gone.
Yeah, I know.
It was gone before Wall Day. I was so upset. I was like, man, like it was because I low key Trent will tell myself I was gonna steal it that day because I was gonna be up there with that wall, and I was like, he said something about getting rid of it. I'm just gonna ease it off. He's not even gonna know. As soon as he turns his back,
I would have gladly given it to you. That's all you, bro.
I was going to just sneak it off the shelf up there when I was putting that anchor and stuff in. I was like,
Oh
oh
man,
watch
I
this.
Wish, I wish that happened.
No, that's well, it's all good.
It's
can't win them
I
all.
don't consider myself a thief, but what's the old line from the Johnny Cat? GM wouldn't miss just one little piece. Like
No.
you wouldn't have missed that hat.
Hell no. I don't even know what happened to it.
all right, so the
Oh, me.
last little
Your decorator
secret
took it.
sauce I'll give you, okay?
They probably did.
And it all depends on brand for this particular sauce. But if you take about 30% of my hot barbecue and mix that with a really good honey mustard,
Oh, dude.
and then toss the wings in that. Now, I personally like to take just a smidge of apple cider vinegar
Yeah.
and throw that in there with it. It's a pretty good on the fly Georgia Gold sauce.
Oh,
I'm going
I'm
to
not a
ask
huge
you,
honey mustard guy, but I'll take
What-
your word for it.
Well, it doesn't taste like honey mustard.
Yeah,
when you
exactly.
say a good honey mustard, I have a concern with that because honey mustard is such a wild variation of a sauce.
Very much so.
There are some of them that I'm like, that can be the only sauce that's on the table, and I like it. It's good. And there are some of them like my meal just took a turn because I put that on my plate. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's- It's one of those like I know there's differences in ketchups and all sauces because that's
For
what
me,
makes them subtle. but
if you get a honey mustard and it tastes like Frank's yellow mustard, that somebody put some
Somebody
literal
messed,
honey in it,
pasteurized
just-
honey in it.
somebody messed up.
grab the top
You know?
shelf, honey.
Yeah, like-
baby, we going uptown tonight. I just
Yeah.
it's such a wild variety based on the take of what, and I
Very
do
much
realize
so.
that the biggest touch is a lot of people just like it to be too sweet. And I'm not a huge fan of that. But there's an element there though where honey mustard, it's got a very small window for me. But when it's in the window, it is like it's good. So that I've got in my head what you're saying there with that
gotta
Georgia
be-
Gold sauce.
It's got to be a high quality.
Charlie,
It can't be Walmart brand.
Well, yeah, no, I mean,
Charlie.
Trent.
Yeah,
Trent, Charlie.
like, what's your go-to buffalo? Or like,
So-
have you dabbled? I mean, obviously you dabbled, but
Yeah.
like,
So I will
go-to
tell you,
buffalo.
like, and I tell people in a restaurant this as well. It's not a secret. My buffalo sauce in my restaurant is Frank's Red Hot.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's tough to beat.
So the reason it's Frank's Red Hot was because back in the early 90s, when me and my brother were cooks at Shoeless Joe, or well, back then it was called Ezra's restaurant inside of the Garden Plaza Hotel.
man, that's a long time ago.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. This was before there were streetlights on Old Fort Parkway. You just haul ass down through there and hope nobody hits you.
Listen, me and Jonathan Lee, man, multiple times. Of course, we started all the way out there at VA because they were off Compton.
Yeah.
And we would be slightly above the speed limit
Slightly.
in his Camaro.
Yeah.
But if you go slightly, it used to be if you'd go slightly above the speed limit on Memorial, which you can't do anymore because there's 8 million cars on Memorial, but used to, you could time it just right. And as long as you almost kind of ran one yellow light, may have been a darker shade of less green, more,
More amber.
more amber. You could make the run all the way down Memorial. And there was one time we did it.
Yeah, you're not the only one that's done that.
No, I know that. But you've had to be from Murfreesboro for a while to realize that
to know what that was.
You could do it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't do it now.
No, heck no. You can't go from one light to the next at a high rate of speed.
I've timed medical center and gotten like one.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Sorry. I was having a flashback there. It's a good time.
I lost track of what I was saying.
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Frank.
Y'all was at Ezra's.
So when we first started working at Ezra's, they had Frank's Red Hot. And that was they took the base Frank's Red Hot, and that's how they made all of their hot wing sauce.
Yep.
They use that as a base. So when we opened a restaurant and I started writing the menu out for smoked wings, I will tell you, I wasn't going to do any sauces. It was going to be barbecue or hot barbecue. That was it.
Support that.
Like you could have plain.
I've got no problem with that because your wings are that
right?
magical.
So,
but
yes.
Like that's all I was going to do.
Yeah.
Because of that reason, I wanted you to be able to taste the wing and get the seasoning. Like that's what, it's my restaurant, and then I started thinking about, okay, well, I'm actually doing this for other people, not for me.
Right.
So I need to actually have options.
You don't want the 16-year-old that came in with mom and dad not to eat because they don't have wings the way I like them. Yeah.
So I said, okay, well, what are we going to do? We ended up doing buffalo as well. And then, so I had buffalo, plain, hot barbecue, and that was it. And then we added the regular barbecue. Mm-hmm. And then now I have a garlic parmesan as well. So we've evolved over time. But for me, you can take Frank's Red Hot and add a couple of different things to it.
Yes.
And really kind of set it over the edge.
Yep.
And I think they're all, from a basic standpoint, like a basic just regular buffalo sauce, they're all pretty darn close. Like there's some that have a little bit more cayenne, might be a little bit hotter.
Right.
Some might have a little bit less or might have a little bit more margarine or butter in them.
Yeah, that's what I was going
kind of cool them off a little
Yep.
bit, right? So they're not quite as spicy.
I always think it's funny. I will make buffalo sauce at home, and I will toss just Frank's Red Hot and just some butter.
Yeah.
And they're always like, no, but I wanted buffalo sauce. It's what I've made. No, it's not. You just put butter in the real hot sauce. Yeah, I know what I did, but like, and it's just at that point. So now there's 2 bottles at our house: Frank's hot sauce and Frank's buffalo sauce. I'm like, I could have saved a step. Like, we only needed one.
Just need a little bit of butter. So Ezra's, when I worked there, we had 3 different levels of buffalo.
Yeah,
You had mild buffalo,
2
medium
tablespoons of
buffalo,
butter, 1 tablespoon of butter,
and hot.
just a splash of butter.
Right. So the hot didn't have anything in it at all.
You know I'm close,
Right?
Like that's real.
The hot didn't have anything in it at all.
Right.
It was dumped out of the tub, hit in a mixing bowl with the wings. That was hot. And then we had an extra hot that you had to know somebody there to know that we even had.
Yeah.
Because that's what my brother and I came up with. And it was fairly spicy, but the other, like you just said, was we would take, and it's hard to even find nowadays. It's a liquid margarine called Whirl.
I don't need liquid margarine.
Sounds so unhealthy.
Sounds like a heart attack in a bottle. Liquid margarine?
Look, Whirl and healthy
Listen.
don't go in the same sentence.
Okay.
Here's one thing I know about cooking fats. They should solidify at room temperature. And so that's a problem.
Yeah, this one don't. It don't at all. It barely solidifies when you put it in the freezer.
Oh, man. That is a strong force.
You know, earlier when I said thuck, this will help you get there real quick.
Real quick.
But it was, so we would make like gallons of this sauce, and it would be, you would take for the medium, you would take like a half a gallon to a gallon of hot sauce, and that would be the medium.
Oh my goodness.
Or that would be the mild, and then like a quarter a gallon, and then a gallon of hot. It was pretty gross. But I think that's why me and Cooper started eating hot wings to begin with, because we knew how nasty the medium and the mild were.
I need the hot so I don't roll out here on the stretcher.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
Golly.
Hey, I gotta give a shout out to Fleek.
Our man Fleek is
Fleek's
rocking
here.
and rolling.
Yeah, man. Bounce back from the whole prostate cancer. Yeah, prostate cancer, but his wings all time as well. And
Fleek tells me all the time that the only wings that are better than his are not, they're
in the
not
same
better
category.
than his, but as good as his or mine.
Yes. And he
like,
has
all right.
the exact same recipe for his straight buffalo.
Yeah.
It's Frank's, some butter and some cayenne. And they're so good.
Yeah.
They're so
That's how you do it.
Yep.
It's even better when you grill them after you've tossed them and stuff.
Yes, man.
That takes it to the next
Yes.
level.
100%
100%.
is better.
Oh,
Less
yeah.
is
Like,
more.
less
That's
is
what
more.
they say.
Yeah,
Less
stop
is
trying
more.
to overcomplicate
Yeah.
stuff.
Right. Like, just, man, don't reinvent the wheel.
Look, we got a big weekend.
Yeah, we do.
What's going on?
What's going on this weekend?
I actually need to talk about like it's after that.
Yeah,
It was a great weekend.
yeah.
A legendary weekend.
It was a spectacular weekend.
Yeah, legendary.
At the Savannah Bananas
Yes.
It's going to be wild.
show,
Can't wait for the official recap.
soon to be. I don't know. Are we going to put it out before this airs or after this airs?
That's up to y'all.
It'll be after.
That's above my pay grade.
Yeah,
That'll be after.
yeah.
It was an amazing weekend.
Well, I mean, just even if
tuned
all
to see
you do
more.
is look at the highlights,
Yeah,
and
just go
like their
back.
social media, they do
Yeah.
a fantastic job with that. It's going to be, the weekend is set up to be fantastic. Like
Yeah.
that, they know what they're doing. They've got a hot product. They do it well. And like even the communication that they've been giving us already.
Look,
like,
the content that we are going to put out coming soon is going to be pretty epic.
It's going to be fantastic. Absolutely
Hey,
fantastic.
I'm pretty
Shouts
stoked.
to you, man. Shouts to you for shooting your shot.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Man,
Only thing I can do is say no.
that's facts, man.
You know what I
that's
mean?
That's a lesson in life right there.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
sure.
I'm stoked about it. Look, we've had some pretty cool guests this year. I'm excited for what's to come this year and
Yep.
next year. It's been a crazy ride already.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to get. I think the hills are going to get harder to climb, and the peaks are going to be that much prettier to look at.
Oh, damn. That's a
Yep.
good way to put it.
You know, I think the valleys are still going to come, right? And you know, but look, anything worth fighting for is worth having. So,
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
you know,
got bars on the way out.
you know, so it's
Getting
I will tell you, you know, I sent Derry a message the other day, and it's funny. We've been talking a lot about working out.
Yeah.
And and I hope you don't mind me sharing this,
I don't
but
know.
I sent him a message and asked him if he had been going to the gym. He said it'd been a couple of weeks. And what's funny about it is I sent him a message saying, "Don't let the devil win today."
That's it.
Right? And I sent it to him selfishly because I'm the one that needed to hear it.
Let's go.
And
All right. Well, it was received out of you're looking out for me because I got home.
I was looking out for you. I didn't realize I was the one that needed to hear
All
it.
right.
It took me a couple of days to realize
Sure.
that I was the one that really needed to hear it.
Right.
And I've woken up the last few days with just that. Don't let the devil win.
Yeah.
Because there's always something out there that is going to try to hold you back. Whether it's yourself, whether it's the devil, whether it's life, whether it's whatever. We can always find an excuse, right?
Right.
But if you truly have a goal that you want to do and you're trying to better yourself, then don't let anything get in the way of doing that.
Right.
You know, you have to be able to block out the things that are not beneficial to you. Block out the people that are not beneficial to you. And somebody said the other day, and I don't know who it is, and I can't remember exactly how it goes, but The people that are not trying to help us win should not be in our lives. Why do you have people in your life that aren't trying to help you win?
Yeah.
And I heard that, and that's when I sent you that message. Because I just wanted to check in on you.
Yeah.
Just love on you a little bit. Hey, man, how you doing?
It's funny because I already been feeling some guilt over the weekend. And I let life get busy. And I say let life because I could have had the time, could have created the time. But by the time I got home and the dogs walked and, I'm settled and I'm cooking dinner, I'm doing whatever, it's like, oh, man, it's already this time. I'll get tomorrow. And tomorrow became 2 weeks real fast.
Oh, it does.
And I was like, God dang it. And so you sent me that text. And I was like, man, I really appreciate that. I didn't tell you that, but like I was mentally, I really appreciated you saying that. And I walk in the door and my wife had kind of been like nudging me like, hey, don't forget about the gym. You put a lot of work in to let it all go, that kind of thing. I was like, hey, you're right. And so I walk in the door Monday. I was like, hey, I got this, and gym. She goes, gym, huh? I said, yeah, Charlie's busted my butt. And she goes, well, I'm glad somebody did. I said, no, hang on. I was like, you obviously had been, nudging that along.
Yeah.
I said, but like you get two people, like I can't let this go. And so I wound up going and I had I felt so good Monday evening. Like it was just your blood starts getting flowing again. You feel better already.
Oh, yeah.
My back's a smidge sore today. I feel the workout, which I always took as a positive. You did more than just go through the motion. But it was
Look,
good.
I took about 3 weeks off.
Yeah.
And because of my shoulder,
Right.
not being able to do anything upper body really.
You want to know what one of my struggles was? Me and you had been texting, and I my goal was to break 400 pounds on squat before April 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And I did like a full 4, 5, 6 days before April 1st. I hit like 410, 415. I can't remember what I texted you last.
Yeah.
And I got so excited that I did that. I remember the next 2 or 3 workouts after that felt like I was going through the motion. And because now I hit this goal I created, I didn't make another goal. I didn't make another, either on another lift or make sure I was doing this, whatever. And then my brother hits me with, hey, I just benched 315. I'm doing good to get 200, and my shoulder hurts when I do it. You know what you're saying? So, I went the negative way with it.
Yeah.
So then
it's easy to do.
And so then I missed that first workout. And then I had a schedule that was going to go later, and I wasn't going to get done until about 9 o'clock. 2 nights that week. And then, and then it snowballed, and all of a sudden, you're like, been at the gym, going to date. But I did. I went Monday.
It was funny. I didn't realize, I've been doing a lot of the same thing because of my shoulder and just kind of more excuses than anything else. And what am I going to do? Am I going to do legs 4 days a week?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to do legs 4 days a week.
You can always walk.
Yeah.
You can always. I saw there is a guy on Barstool Sports, Frank the Tank. You know what I'm talking about? The huge Mets fan.
Uh-huh.
I saw a thing about him today. He was well over 500 pounds.
Oof.
He has walked 536, some weird number. It's over 500 days in a row. He's come like a year and a half of having gone for a walk every day. And he started watching what he's eating. And he's closing in on 300 pounds.
Nice.
Over 200 pounds lost. And then Jelly Roll had a big old thing that he did with Burt Kreischer with their
the
their
2 Bears 5K.
Yeah. And like you see him and like just like it literally it's easy to do if you're patient. And that's what I'm learning right now. My challenge.
One thing I also realize as well is, not that what they're doing is not incredible.
Right.
But they also have somebody meal prepping for them.
Well, they got meal prep. Their
They
schedule's a
have
little more lenient.
trainers. They have,
right.
they have dietitians.
But even like Frank the Tank though, like his thing was just I'm going for a walk every day.
Yeah.
Like it can truly be as simple as we want to make it. I can carve out 30 minutes to go for a walk. That's my point.
You just can't let the devil win.
You just can't let the devil win.
Just you have to make it has to be a priority for you.
Yeah.
And
100%.
And I find that if I don't make that a priority, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And I've made the priority less about working out and more about that's my hour for me.
Right.
To go just zone out and do whatever.
Right.
Right. If I'm happy to be doing it at the gym.
Right.
But it helps my mental space.
Right.
Keeps me focused.
Dig it, man.
So you got a Friday feel good for us?
Always.
There
is a, I'm not a huge Rick and Morty fan, but there is one episode. I do like that show. It's a comical relief thing for me.
It is.
But there's a moment in the show, and I don't remember the exact scene or anything. I didn't look all that up, but there's a moment where Rick says something really honest, but really controversial. And everybody just blows up at him. And Rick says, your boos mean nothing to me. I've seen what you cheer for. And I did not expect to ever have Rick and Morty be a source for a Friday Feel Good. Be careful who you take your advice from. Be careful who you are trying to seek to please, because I have seen what some people cheer for. And knowing what you cheer for, I'm 100% fine with you booing me. And that should hold more weight. So I came across that and I was like, my word, that is deep. So
I heard something the exact same thing the other day. It said, don't take advice from someone you wouldn't trade places with.
Yeah. I mean, I heard don't take criticism from somebody you wouldn't seek advice from.
Same thing.
Yeah. Same, right. They're all in the same wheelhouse. But I thought that was really good.
No, that's great.
I'll take your booze because I've seen what you cheer for. So y'all know what to do. Find somebody you know, tell them you love them. So,
man, that is awesome. Look, y'all, we appreciate you hanging out with us for the last hour. Make sure you tune in every Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. on ESPN's 94.9 The Fan. Catch our YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share with all your friends, family, and buddies, and so forth. If you want to get involved, please feel free to reach out to me directly at charlie@singletreebbq.com, or you can call me at 615-307-0120. And until next time, guys, we'll see you then.
Y'all be good.
Thanks for joining us today. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, leave us a 5-star review and come see us at the restaurant.